From a Nobel Peace Prize-winning scientist to a protest-leading activist, and now the first female president in Mexico's 200-year history. This is the incredible, untold story of Claudia Sheinbaum. You might think you know her, the political successor to Andrés Manuel López Obrador, but her journey is far more complex and fascinating than most people realize. So, buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into the life of a woman who has shattered ceilings, challenged norms, and is now poised to lead one of the world's most vibrant nations. Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo was born in Mexico City in 1962, into a family where science and activism were practically in the DNA. Her father, Carlos Sheinbaum Yoselovitz, was a chemical engineer. Her mother, Annie Pardo Simo, is a renowned cell biologist and professor emeritus at the National Autonomous University of Mexico, or UNAM. Both her parents were children of Jewish immigrants who had fled persecution in Europe, her father's family from Lithuania, and her mother's from Bulgaria. So, right from the start, her heritage was a rich tapestry of different cultures and experiences. Growing up, the dinner table conversations weren't about cartoons or playground drama. They were about social justice, politics, and science. Her parents were deeply involved in the 1968 student movement in Mexico, a pivotal and tragic event in the country's history. These weren't just abstract political ideas for young Claudia, they were the lived reality of her family. This environment instilled in her a powerful sense of social responsibility and a belief that you have to fight for what's right. It wasn't a choice, it was an expectation. Following in her parents' academic footsteps, Claudia enrolled at the prestigious UNAM to study physics. But she soon realized her true passion lay at the intersection of science and society. She switched her major to energy engineering, driven by a desire to find sustainable solutions for her country's challenges. This wasn't just about crunching numbers, it was about people. How can we power our cities without destroying our planet? How can we ensure everyone has access to clean energy? These were the questions that fueled her. Her academic journey took her all the way to California, where she earned her doctorate in energy engineering from the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. For 4 years, she immersed herself in cutting-edge research, specializing in Mexico's energy consumption patterns and the environmental impact of transportation. She became a genuine expert, publishing articles in respected scientific journals. This wasn't a politician dabbling in science. This was a scientist who would later enter politics, and that distinction is crucial. While she was building her impressive academic career, her activist spirit never waned. Back in Mexico, she was a vocal student leader at UNAM. She was on the front lines, protesting against policies she believed were unjust, including attempts to privatize public education. Photos from that time show a fiery young woman with a megaphone, rallying her peers. She wasn't afraid to make her voice heard, to stand up to authority, and to fight for the principles her parents had taught her. Then came a defining moment. In the early 2000s, Claudia Sheinbaum joined a team of top international scientists working with the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC. This wasn't just another research project. The work they did was groundbreaking, providing the world with the most comprehensive assessment of climate change science. And in 2007, their efforts were recognized with the highest honor imaginable, the Nobel Peace Prize, which they shared with former US Vice President Al Gore. Think about that for a second. The future president of Mexico was a co-recipient of a Nobel Peace Prize for her work as a climate scientist. This part of her story often gets overlooked in the heat of political headlines, but it's fundamental to understanding who she is. Her approach to problem-solving is rooted in data, in evidence, and in a scientific understanding of cause and effect. Her official entry into politics began in 2000. The newly elected mayor of Mexico City, a man named Andrés Manuel López Obrador, or AMLO, was looking for a secretary of the environment. He needed someone with real expertise, not just a political ally. He found that in Claudia Sheinbaum. At just 38 years old, she was tasked with tackling some of the megacity's biggest problems: crippling air pollution and chaotic urban sprawl. She got to work immediately. She spearheaded the creation of the Metrobus, a bus rapid transit system that has since become a fixture of the city, reducing traffic and emissions. She also oversaw the construction of new elevated highways, the Segundos Pisos, to ease congestion. While these projects had their critics, they showed her pragmatic, results-oriented approach. She wasn't just talking about change, She was building it, literally. After her time as Environment Secretary, she returned to academia for a while, but the political world wasn't done with her. When AMLO decided to form his own political party, Morena, in 2014, Sheinbaum was a founding member. She was all in. She believed in his vision for a fourth transformation of Mexico, a movement aimed at rooting out corruption and reducing inequality. Her loyalty and competence paid off. In 2015, she was elected as the head of the Tlalpan district, one of the largest boroughs in Mexico City. Here, she got a taste of executive leadership, dealing with local issues from water shortages to public safety. It was a crucial training ground. Then came the biggest test yet. In 2018, as AMLO ran for president for the third time, Claudia Sheinbaum set her sights on running the entire capital. She campaigned on a platform that combined her scientific background with her progressive politics. She talked about sustainability, mobility, and social justice. And she won, becoming the first elected female mayor of Mexico City. Her 5 years as mayor were a whirlwind. She faced enormous challenges, including the COVID-19 pandemic, where she navigated the delicate balance between public health and economic stability. Her administration focused on expanding educational opportunities with new public universities and increasing scholarship programs. She continued her environmental work, launching an ambitious green agenda for the city. However, her tenure was also marked by tragedy. In May 2021, a section of the city's Metro Line 12 collapsed, a devastating accident that claimed dozens of lives. The line had been built during a previous administration, but as the current mayor, Sheinbaum faced intense scrutiny and criticism over maintenance and safety. It was a heart-wrenching crisis that tested her leadership under the most immense pressure. She commissioned independent investigations and focused on providing support to the victims' families, but the incident remains a painful chapter in her political career. Throughout it all, she remained one of AMLO's most trusted and high-profile allies. She was seen as the continuity candidate, the one who would carry the torch of his fourth transformation. When the time came for Morena to choose its presidential candidate for the 2024 election, she was the clear frontrunner. She resigned as mayor to focus on her campaign, and after a hard-fought primary, she secured the nomination. Her campaign was a marathon. She crisscrossed the country, often wearing traditional embroidered clothing from different regions, a nod to Mexico's rich cultural diversity. She rarely strayed from AMLO's core message, promising to build on his popular social programs, like pensions for the elderly and grants for students. Her slogan, "For the good of all, first the poor," echoed his populist appeal, but she also carved out her own identity. As a scientist, she emphasized her belief in renewable energy and the importance of tackling climate change. As a woman who had broken barriers her whole life, she spoke powerfully about gender equality and ending the scourge of femicide in Mexico. She presented herself as a steady, capable hand less fiery than AMLO, but just as determined. She was La Doctora, the doctor, a calm, analytical leader ready to take the reins. And on June 2, 2024, she made history. Claudia Sheinbaum was elected president of Mexico with a staggering majority, securing the highest vote count in the country's democratic history. The images from that night were electric: a woman, a scientist, a mother, and a lifelong activist standing on a stage, accepting her role as the future leader of over 126 million people. So, what does a Sheinbaum presidency mean for Mexico? She inherits a country with immense potential, but also significant challenges. She's pledged to continue the fight against corruption, expand social welfare programs, and maintain fiscal discipline. She also faces the monumental tasks of improving public security and managing the complex relationship with the United States. Many wonder if she will govern in AMLO's shadow or forge her own path. Her background suggests she is her own person, with a unique blend of scientific pragmatism and deep-seated progressive values. She's not just a political protege, she is a Nobel Prize-winning scientist who has been fighting for her beliefs since she was a teenager. The story of Claudia Sheinbaum is a testament to the power of perseverance, education, and unwavering conviction. From the protest lines of her university days to the highest office in the land, her journey has been anything but ordinary. She now stands at a historic crossroads, a woman of science and activism ready to write the next chapter for Mexico. The world will be watching. Thanks for watching. What do you think about Mexico's new president? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.